Coming up on today's Disney Roundup, Walt Disney World has launched their parks reservation system, what attractions and restaurants will be open once the parks reopen, and a look at the nearly completed repainting of Cinderella's castle. I have all that and more for you coming up right here on the DRU. Hey, it's Jeff everyone, and welcome to the Disney Roundup, where I bring you up to date on what's going on with the Walt Disney Company and Disney parks each and every single week. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and hit that like button for me, and also subscribe to my channel to receive the Disney Roundup each and every single week. But we have a lot of parks news to get into this week, so let's get right to it. First off, over this past week, Disney has officially unveiled on how the park's reservation system works at Walt Disney World. Starting on June 22nd, Disney Resort and other select hotel guests with valid theme park admission could start making reservations. On June 26th, annual pass holders without a resort can make reservations. Side note with that as well, annual pass holders will only be able to hold up to 3 park reservations at once. Also on June 28th, existing ticket holders can start making reservations, and park reservations are currently available through September 26th of 2021. So possibly Disney is planning to hopefully end this reservation system before the 50th year anniversary, but we'll just have to wait and see. Also, by June 28th, all guests will be able to purchase new Disney Resort hotel packages and park tickets and make their park reservations for arrivals starting in 2021. And I'll say that again, that is starting in 2021, not 2020. Also note, along with this, Disney will be discontinuing free Magic Bands with resort reservations, as they're planning to enhance the My Disney Experience app with more features of the Magic Band. Key to the World cards will also be able to be used for this as well, and Magic Bands are not being eliminated overall. They're just not giving guests free Magic Bands with a new resort reservation. So Magic Bands, if you have an old one from a previous stay at Walt Disney World, you'll still be able to use that, as well as you can still purchase Magic Bands on the Shop Disney or in the parks as well. Now later this summer, sales of 2020 tickets and Disney Resort hotels may resume depending on the availability of park reservations, as Disney is still currently looking to make sure that all current guests with hotel reservations and valid theme park tickets or annual passes get that priority first, and also with just annual pass holders that live in the area. They want to make sure that they get taken care of first, which I completely understand. But now getting into the reservation system and how it all works. Now when you go to make a park reservation, you'll need to link your admission to your My Disney Experience account. You'll have to create your party, of course select your date in the park that you wish to attend, and review and confirm your park plans. Now guests will only be able to select one park per day, which is essentially just eliminating park hopping for the time being. We talked about this last week on the Disney Roundup, and you can also check out this link, which I will leave a link to in the description down below, to see in advance before making your reservations on what is all available. And as we're just a couple of days into the reservation system, Animal Kingdom reservations for July 14th are all gone, as well as Hollywood Studios on its reopening day of July 15th all the way to July 17th. So it looks like Hollywood Studios is maybe the tough park reservation to get. Now, once returning to the parks, most but not all attractions will be available for guests to enjoy. Now, attractions not reopening with the parks consist of mainly stage shows and a lot of the interactive attractions that you can take part of. Over at Magic Kingdom, for instance, attractions and other things that won't be available will be the Main Street vehicles, the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor at Animal Kingdom, Festival of the Lion King or Finding Nemo the Musical. Over at EPCOT, Turtle Talk with Crush or the Beauty and the Beast Sing-Along, and at Hollywood Studios, the Beauty and the Beast stage show or the Star Wars launch bay. Now, amongst other entertainment in the parks, Disney has announced that they will also be having special cavalcades in Magic Kingdom, friends sailing the waterways of Disney's Animal Kingdom, processions along World Showcase Promenade at EPCOT, and motorcades on Hollywood Boulevard at Hollywood Studios. So it sounds like during the day they're going to just have little tiny parades throughout the day. Probably not going to have announced start times for these so they don't have large crowds for them, but it will be a cool surprise to just see Mickey Mouse riding by on a car or something, or out in the water at Animal Kingdom, one of those characters. So I'm glad that they're doing this and trying to incorporate new forms and ways of entertainment inside the parks. Now, staying in the area of attractions, according to a report WDW News Today received from cast members, when the parks reopen, unlike Universal and other Central Florida theme parks, Disney will not be utilizing a virtual queue or single rider lines, along with not having fast passes as well. And the plan for now is just to use standby queues, of course, with appropriate social and physical distancing markings. So some attractions do have really long queues, but even with limited capacity and spreading each guest 6 feet apart from one another, I feel like a lot of attractions are going to reach the entrance and probably go farther lengths outside of that as well. I know a lot of the time over at Magic Kingdom, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train has that problem, and I can see that being an issue as well in Hollywood Studios with Rise of Resistance, or at Animal Kingdom with Avatar Flight of Passage. But now the following restaurants will be open on the start of their reopening dates. Over at Magic Kingdom will include places such as Aloha Isle, Be Our Guest restaurant for lunch and dinner with the prefix menu, Main Street Bakery, and Pecos Bill's Tall Tale Inn and Cafe. At Animal Kingdom, Flame Tree Barbecue will be open, Nomad Lounge, Santulli Canteen, and Tiffin's Restaurants. At Epcot, Coral Reef Restaurant will be open, as well as the Garden Grill Restaurant, as well as the Rose and Crown Pub and Via Napoli. Hollywood Studios, all of the favorites will be opening, including 50's Primetime Cafe, the Hollywood Brown Derby, Oga's Cantina, and the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. So here's a look of what it's going to look like once the parks reopen, a look of the restaurants, how the Disney reservation system works, and all the attractions you'll be able to take in once there. Let me know what you think of the new Disney Parks reservation system, and if you were successful or not at making reservations or not. Let me know about that in the comments down below. In a recent Disney Parks blog post, Disney has revealed that once Epcot reopens on July 15th, that will also be the start date of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, which typically doesn't begin until the fall. With its modified starting date, Disney is referring to this as a taste of Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, giving guests plenty of time to experience the longest festival yet, with different experiences along with some remnants of Flower and Garden Festival, including a Remy topiary over in the France Pavilion, Remy's Hide and Squeak scavenger hunt, and the Flower and Garden merchandise will still be available. In the same post on Disney Parks blog, it was also announced that all Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties for 2020 have been canceled. Of course, this being due to not being able to have some of the festivities that are a part of that special ticket event, like the fireworks, the parades, or the castle stage shows, which are key components of that event. Disney, though, is looking to the future, and they have not made a decision yet for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party or other holiday festivities like the Candlelight Processional, but will decide if it's safe to have these events or not to their closer dates. Now, I mentioned this before a couple weeks ago in the Disney Roundup, and Disney even mentions it here, that without having the special fireworks or parades like Boo to You, you can't have these events, and there's such a big part of that which would devalue those special ticket events. So it is sad that they aren't having this event this year, but I think Disney really did the right thing by just canceling it altogether. As we get closer to the parks reopening, Cinderella Castle looks to be near completion of its royal painting makeover. From various pictures posted of the new paint scheme of the castle, the pink walls, shiny blue turrets, and gold trim really do stand out. So I've seen a lot of mixed reviews of the castle, but let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. I'm personally not a big fan of it myself. So I do like the blue turrets, I like the gold trim of it, but I really don't like the shade of pink that they went with. I would have really preferred a lighter color, even if it is pink, just a lighter shade of pink to me would have looked better, but maybe putting that dark shade of pink on there now, maybe they're hoping that after the castle is in the Florida sun for a good amount of time that it's going to lighten up after that. But let me know what you think of the new castle in the comments down below. Now for a little bit of outside the parks news. With just the other day DVC resorts beginning their reopening and resorts that have DVC sections reopening, Disney has announced the reopening dates for the following resorts. So not to be confused, but non-DVC resorts or resorts and their non-DVC sections. Starting on July 10th, Animal Kingdom Villas at Jambo House will be opening, as well as Pop Century and the Contemporary. On July 29th, the Caribbean Beach Resort. On August 12th, the Poly and Art of Animation. August 24th, Yacht and Beach. September 21st, Grand Floridian. The Boardwalk will be opening on October 1st. October 14th, Coronado Springs. And for the time being, there are no current reopening dates for the following resorts, being Wilderness Lodge, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Port Orleans Resort, the French Quarter, and Riverside, as well as all of the All-Stars Resort. So again, some of these resorts have already started to reopen, but the rooms that you can book are just the DVC section, so the non-DVC section you'll be able to stay there on those reopening dates. Alright everyone, well that's all I have for you for this week's episode of the Disney Roundup. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit that like button for me, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to receive the Disney Roundup each and every single week. But that's all I have for you for this week, and until next time, we'll see you on the DRU.